Hello and welcome. My name is Twin Minds, and I am back with Feed the Beast Sky Factory 2.5. I'm going to try to work my way through the rest of the Wood Age into the Stone Age today. I've done a little bit of gathering, as you will see in a moment here, and I think
It's
I'm
time
ready.
to build.
I think he's ready too. He catches me off guard every single time. Alright, so let's take a look here at what I've got. You see some leaves here, we'll get to that in a moment. I have quite a bit of saplings. I have done a little bit of sifting, got myself a couple seeds, and a little bit more stone here. I've also gotten quite a bit of dirt, so that means I have done a lot of trees. So there are some things that have helped out with that, thanks to another tip from a friend. The wood shears came quite in handy. Apparently Thermal Foundation added wood and stone shears, which really have helped out in the early game here. So just to show you how much they've helped out, let's build another one, because I will need another one in just a moment here. My tree has done us the honor of joining us in this party. And basically, wood shears have sped this process up quite a bit. And that is all of the leaves gathered, which are just as effective as saplings in getting dirt. So you can see I've expanded my dirt production here. I had to do this with the wood planks to protect them from the rain, because the moment you harvest dirt in the rain, the barrel fills up with water, and you can no longer use it for dirt. So that got a little bit annoying. So it is 8 leaves per dirt, so 4 of those is half a stack of leaves. It's actually pretty quick to gather that many leaves using the shears. So that's what I've been doing for the most part. Luckily, I have spared you all from having to see that. What a curious little thing. Ah, yes, that issue. There are some leaves up there somewhere. I have seen some invisible blocks every once in a while. I don't know what's causing that, but I'm not going to concern myself with it. So that is that. I will use those to gather up some more dirt at a later time. I have done some sifting of that dirt, but I think I would like some of that for some plans I have later on to make use of some of these seeds. So for right now, my next step, I believe, is going to be the compression sifting. So Xcompressum has the compressed versions of all these things, which other mods do as well, which you can sift in the heavy sieves, which I've mentioned before. I have saved us some time and gotten the heavy silk mesh, so let's go ahead and build that thing. Heavy silk mesh in the middle. Wood, 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 and some sticks to get a heavy sieve. And along with that, I would like to sift a dirt just to see how it goes. Let's pop that guy down right here to join his buddy and sift the compressed. Now I got melon, pumpkin, some stone, birch, and potato. All of which are handy because I didn't have birch or potato or melons. That was quite the haul. And some stone. Now the thing about the compressed is you are compressing 9 as you have compressed them in the crafting station here. However, the output is only 7. So while it is faster, it is less efficient. So that is something to consider when you're doing this. Grass seeds, melon, and a lot more stone. Okie dokie. I'm okay with that. Now, the next thing that I would like to do is a hammer. So if you check out the book here, I need to craft a hammer. And I need to pound cobble into gravel, sand, and dust. Now, dust is my goal here, for now at least, because I have a plan for later. And that is in the form of make clay by putting dust into a water-filled barrel. Now, that is a plan that I have for later, but I do need to get more water going, so maybe I can hope it will rain. Put down a couple more here. Ah, I'm going to fall for that every single time. It is slabs in the bottom. So let's put down a couple more of these and hope it rains. If it doesn't anytime soon, I will do that later. But because this dirt takes some time to cook up, I will go ahead and set this up again. And let's do a hammer. So hammer is 1, 2. There's the stone shears that I enjoyed for a while. There's the hammer that I like here. So let's do a little bit of hammering. I don't want to use up all of my stone just yet. So that is 4 gravel. I will do 3 of that down to sand. And I'll do 2 of that into dust. So then I've got my cobble, gravel, sand, and dust. I will leave one of these dusts for a later time, but I'll sift the rest up right now just to see what we get. First, the gravel. I got 1 piece of broken tin ore. Well, that's a start. Very first piece of metal of sorts. That sand was a disappointment. And the dust gave me bone meal and a blaze powder, so that will come in handy eventually, I am sure. I don't recall. Can we sift gravel or cobble? No, we cannot. I believe you can sift smooth stone, though, so that might be something I do later. Alright, so the next step in my not-so-evil plan is to check the book, because I forgot. We did the hammer. We did the sifting. I have not done the sifting of compressed gravel, sand, and dust, because that requires having a lot of cobble on hand, which I do not just yet. Tinker's Construct tools from bone or flint. Ooh, Tinker's Construct. There's an idea. Craft and cook a crucible. So the crucible is a thing I wanted to do, but that, if I recall, requires the clay that I don't have yet. Crucible. So crucible does need to be cooked up, and it requires porcelain clay, which is clay and bone meal. So that looks like something that I will have to save for a later date, because I have 1 bone meal, and according to this I need 7. So I may do a little bit more gathering, and then I may return. See you in a bit. And I have returned. I think it is time to do a little bit more sifting, just to see what we get. Also, I wanted to check off another box, because that's always fun. So I'm getting 1 compressed of each of dust, sand, and gravel, so that we can do that. And I also compressed the rest of the dirt I had, so I won't have any dirt left. I'll get some later. So let's start off sifting the compressed dirt. See what we get. Alright, got quite a bit of stone, which is wonderful. Awesome. Stack of cobble. I always like that. Spruce seed, which is also new. I like that. Bunch of grass seed, which I do need. Sugar cane, wonderful. Carrot, also new. I am getting all of the things that I need. The grass seeds, by the way, are no longer completely worthless. At least after the first use, obviously. You do get grass out of the deal, but they can also be used to craft sheep bait. So I can get some sheepies to appear instead of just waiting and hoping on a grass field somewhere. So do that at some point later. Also, I wanted to sift up these 3 things, see how these go. Gravel first, which is typically ores, aluminum, lead, a couple coal, which is nice. And then the sand, which got me cocoa, wonderful. Some crushed ores, 4 Certus quartz, nice. I am almost there, ready to build up an A2 system. Haha. And then some dust, which got me 3 bone meal. A little bit more than halfway towards what I need. Got my first piece of redstone. That is awesome. I would like to have a furnace of some sort going soon here, but that might be a little ways off because I don't even have a piece of iron yet. I know I could do a Stirling generator. Is it STIR? Yes, Stirling generator. Which is basic gears, furnace, so it's all stone and wood. However, the piston does require a piece of iron, so I will need to get a piece of iron soon enough here. So, I did not get everything I needed to make the crucible, which means I'm going to go back to collecting materials. I think also off camera here, I'm going to do a little bit more building. So I did some investigation on the biomes, which, as you can see here, is a very colorful map, which has nothing on it at the moment because we are in a skyblock after all. But at the very, very bottom down here, you can see the biome that we are in. So I am in plains at the moment. Just a little bit to the west, I have a desert biome here. And that seems like that might be a good idea to avoid some rain, which will help me in my barrels. So I may build off west and south to that desert biome and put my barrels there. And maybe in this west area here, a beginning of a farm so I can get some food growing. So I might do a little bit of that building off camera, but we will see what I'm in the mood for. So I will return after I grind up some materials and such. So here I was, all ready to come back and get ready to start building stuff, when this bloody guy happened again. So I'll have to take care of that at some point, but for right now, I still want to craft my crucible, because I managed to get enough stuff. I only need those 2 sticks, so let's do the crucible, which is 7 clay and bone meal to make the porcelain clay in a crucible-y shape, which then needs to be fired in the furnace. So the reason I want this, if you're not familiar with Skyblock, is this is our source of lava. So let's see what I can do about making some lava. I would like some form of platform, I suppose. So let's do here-ish. Sure, why not? So to do a crucible to make lava, I will do this just because it's easier that way. You put the crucible on top of a heat source, which in this case, the only heat source that I have is a torch. So it's going to be slow. And then you drop in some cobble. And you can see the numbers up there, the solid volume versus the fluid volume. It is slowly, very, very slowly converting my cobble into lava. So I will eventually have some lava to work with. Hopefully, by the time I have lava, I will have water again, because I had to use my only 2 water to make the clay required to make this. So, hopefully the timing will be right, because I do actually need to get rid of those leaves before it rains again, or else I won't get any water. So, I will be back after cleaning up this monstrosity, and hopefully having some water. See you in a bit. Alright, I am back, and there are a couple changes here. So, first off, I decided, oh dear lordy, that better not be an actual sacred. I'm getting rid of that for now, because I don't need a sacred right now. Rubber tree. Yes, I've decided to start with that, primarily because raw rubber is a quick and easy source of torches. And why not? I've also added a little bit more cobble in the crucible because my lava has finished cooking up, and I will probably need some in a bit. I've shown you before, but I have moved all of my metals and other dusts and stuff into here. Still not enough of any one thing to make a single ingot of anything, so I'll keep on trying later. But what I wanted to do is get started with remembering what I wanted to do. I'm going to work on building this direction towards my desert. And to do that, I wanted to build a new little tool that I found that I didn't realize existed. The stone builder's wand. I'm going to assume that this works like any old builder's wand. And you right click on a thing that you want to build, and it builds it. So I am going to make use of this nifty little tool to help me in my building progress. That is what I'm going to do for the next little bit here, and hopefully not get a sacred, because that would be a very messy thing to clean up. So, yeah, it looks like it didn't break into a sacred that I can see here. So maybe that was just a visual glitch, but either way, it was a terrifying prospect to have to clean up a sacred on a skyblock with no tools whatsoever. So I will get building that, but I do want to check the book quick, because this might be the end of this episode here. I will build that before the next episode. We've got sieving compressed stuff. I did. I will hold off on the tinkers for now. I did make the clay, and cook the crucible out of that clay. I have made some lava with the crucible. I will do compressed hammer and compressed blocks at a later time, because I don't quite have enough stone to accomplish that. Now, the chicken stick. This is a new one to me. I had to look this one up. But it is part of X Compressum, and it does require making a hammer out of chicken, which I do not have yet. I'm going to have to use the chicken bait to do that, which is going to be a part of my new area over there. I'm going to try to build a passive mob spawner as part of my farm, so this will be a later time, and the cobble generator will come as soon as it rains again, which it still has yet to do, so the rain is not cooperating with me at this time. So I think I will leave this episode here, and we'll finish off those little things at the next episode and start off the Stone Age. So until then, I will see you later.